Welcome to Choose to Change on a fantastic cold Thursday. Welcome. Wow. And what about the weather for tomorrow? Much of the same. Also, man, Smith, we got Smith on the house. How's everybody doing tonight? Great. Awesome, guys. I know it's kind of chilly out there, but hey, you're here, and that's a desire to change, and that means a lot. So, welcome again, guys. So, my name is Rudy, and I'm a proud member of the Choose to Change mentoring program. The Choose to Change mentoring program is a self supporting, Christian based group sponsored by the Choose to Change Foundation. There's no fee to attend this class, but we do encourage donations from our members and to anyone else who believes in what we do. The only requirement for membership is a sincere desire to change your life. And that desire is right here. So we are on a mission to restore families by inspiring, challenging, and equipping men to become better fathers, husbands, and leaders in our community. So if you are ready to change your life, then guess what? You're in the right place. Woo! Through this program, you will learn exactly where to start your life change journey, tools and resources to keep you going, and a support system to help you reach your goals. The Choose to Change mentoring program believes in three key principles of life. Number one, we believe that we believe in life-changing power of God through faith in Jesus Christ. Number two, we believe that God has already done his part and that it is your responsibility to learn to do your part. I think that's a pretty heavy one, no? Porque todo queremos en la mano. Success or failure is a choice, and the choice is yours. So if you are ready, say, I am ready. Thank you guys again. We got a special, powerful presentation tonight from our brother Orlando. So let's give him a hand, guys, as he takes the pulpit. All right.
Welcome. Testing. Well, I'm excited. So, what do you think I'm excited today? I mean, 20, well, sort of. I see things very blurry. My eyes are just healing. I got surgery in my eyes. And so if I go like this is because all the faces I see blurry. I haven't seen a new one. You're new, right? Okay. What's your name? Welcome, Priscilla. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate. I was thinking today about Well, actually, I was thinking about this yesterday. I went to the parole office yesterday. The parole office had a job fair for parolees, everybody coming out of prison. And I went there and passed a few flyers out about Choose a Change, told people about Choose a Change. But I got inspired about not only my own life. I actually got not inspired at first. I was frustrated because I was looking at the attitudes of people. I got frustrated. And I found out that I'm frustrated with people that don't want to do something with their lives. And that's the kind of people I'm trying to help. Well, that's not true. I'm trying to help people who want to do something with their lives. And that's why we're here today. But I was watching these guys come into the parole office, and I learned a couple of things at this job fair. One, Man, I didn't realize just how many resources we had as a parolee. There's a lot of information, a lot of resources to get you started. Because really that's what it is. It's the idea is to get you started. And I was just amazed. Wow. I don't remember when I got out of prison all these resources. Um did you get a phone, Chavaria, when you got out? That's a project, I mean a program, right? What else is there? Is anybody can tell me? There was these people from Houston that they're a big and all these there's a lot of government help and phones, transportation, medical. I mean, a lot of help. I don't know. I don't hiring people. Yeah, yeah, and they're doing their best. They're trying to. The state of Texas is actually trying to help, and it might not look like it, when you're on parole. Your parole officer just. I understand that, but see, when you really want to change your life, you have to seek after help. It's not really gonna. There's nobody gonna come in and here you go, grab you by the hand like mommy used to do if you had a mommy. Like that's what my mom did for me, and that's why I messed up, went to prison for say 13 years because I didn't know how to fend for myself. But today I do. But in any case, I was just amazed at the attitude that people have about life, about their own life, their family, their children. So my question today is, do you have an attitude problem? Go ahead, Leon.
It's funny that you're talking about attitude problem because
Huh.
um, I just was hearing on the radio today that the number one reason that people get fired from their job is because of their attitude. That's the number one reason why they get fired from their job because of the attitude that they got, the way that they conduct themselves, I guess, in the workplace. Like rolling your eyes and stuff like that. They were talking about different things like that. How
Mm-hmm.
you conducted yourself with, you know, your coworkers and whatnot. But yeah, that's
Attitude. They say
attitude.
that uh, some people say that attitude is everything. Who agrees to that? I think attitude is not everything, but it sure plays a major part. So, do you have a uh, attitude problem? What's after mindset? Anybody who's been listening, who's been learning? Huh? Actually, it's attitude, and we're gonna talk about attitude problem today. What's next? Attitude. There you go. And what's after habits? Yes, so man, Leon. Nice. He's listening, man. That's why he has a business. And why is results so important? Because it's the name of the game. I was inspired, and I'm getting even more laser focused on trying to help people understand this process. Because once I understood that I could change my life, once I got that revelation, once I got that idea, that reality that came to my mind that, wow, I can change my life. I started finding looking for answers. See if you get that. I didn't know how to change my life. I didn't know if it was even possible. I didn't understand how to change my life, what I needed to change. But when I got the revelation, the idea that I could, if I wanted to, because you got to get there first. Then I started searching for answers. And this is what this class is all about, to give you some answers on not only how to change your life, but what part of your life you need to change. Because that's what I had to ask. Well, what is it about me that I have to ask yourself? What is it right now, wherever you are in life today? You just got out of prison, you're on parole, your new job, you need a job, whatever, wherever you may be, ask yourself, what is it about me that I need to change or improve on or get rid of? What is it? And these are the kind of things that I started learning. And this is what this process is all about. This process is to help you understand and be able to look at something from a tangible perspective, meaning something you can see, okay, desire, faith, mindset, attitude, habits, lifestyle, results. Okay, so now what does all that mean and how do I put it together? Here's how I explain it. And the reason I'm going through this is because I'm really excited about this. Because I'm going to put this in a book. I'm going to put this in a curriculum so that you can teach it, Leon. So Chris can teach it. Because all this is just a beginning. That's all it is. Because you have to do the legwork. I've been doing this for 25 years. 25 years ago, in prison, when I made a decision that I wanted to change my life, I tell people like this. I remember I got locked up. I thought I was going to prison for the rest of my life. And I said, you know what, Lord, I made a decision, kill my worthless self or choose to believe in the impossible. I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And I said, I'm going to choose to believe in the impossible. Then I dedicated my life to Christ. Then I dedicated my life to change. They're two different things. Can you all see that? Because giving your life to Christ is the easy part. Right? Who can agree to that? That's easy. But changing, I say, that's a monster. Especially when you come out from a place like I have, right? And maybe many of you have. So then my next question was, how do I do that? And I found these answers, and this is what I teach today. So then your life is like, I remember my life in prison, looking at my life, this big old monstrous mountain. Remember, Peña? I mean, this mountain of problems and issues and regrets and pain and failure and hurt, right? And then you're like, and the preacher said, man, God can help you. God can change your life. You can, and you're looking at this mountain. How? Well, let's change the mountain to a big old 10,000 piece puzzle. All the broken pieces of your life, right? The regrets, the pain, right? The hurt, the people you hurt, the people that hurt you, your past, your present, your parole. And it's just all these broken pieces, right? So then where do you start putting them together? Who's ever done a puzzle? There you go. Where do you start? You start on the outside. Okay, this is it. I help you to start on the outside. Understand the outside and you start piecing it together. But this is even better. What I did is I took pieces, pretend there's a big puzzle in front of you. And there's all you have, church and faith and job and parole and your family and your ex and your children, inspiration, have all these pieces, right? So what I did is I took 7 of these pieces. You have faith, you have desire, mindset, attitude, because you all learned all these things right through videos and through reading. Who went through like changes or classes in prison? and you learned about character building, right? So all these things that you're learning, right? And this is what happened to me. I read a lot of books. I learned a lot of things. But then, it was just so much information. I didn't know if it was working or not. And today I know it was. And, and out of all this information, this is what I put together. This is the core of how you change your life. So let me go through it really quickly. Uh, when you get out of parole, out of prison, you're on parole. So normal people start here, right? And who knows my definition of normal people? Someone that hasn't been to prison and doesn't do drugs. That's normal people. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're perfect or no. They have their own problems, right, sis? Never been to prison, never done drugs. That's normal. That's where normal people start, and they start to climb. Us as ex-convicts or convicts, when you start, I'm talking about after you get out of prison. Here's where you start. Más triste. You're still in the hole. And this is why so many people quit. This is why people go in with an attitude. They don't see nothing else but their situation. You try to help them, and they like. You try to tell them, hey, I told a guy there at the parole office. He was like, I said, how old are you, son? He said, 21. Tattoo here. He had tattoo right here. It said, F love. That's what he had right here. So what kind of attitude did he have? He's hurt. He had nothing. And I told him, say, so you ever thought about changing your life? He said, yeah. And here's what I told him. I said, listen, Juan, I'm going to call him Juan. I forgot his name. I said, Juan, you have greatness in you, man. And his eyes just opened. It's like I touched the nerve. I said, has anybody ever told you that? That you have greatness inside of you, man? And he said, no, nobody ever told me that. And it's right there, man. I got this revelation. Wow. We are having impact, Leon. There's people out there, and I knew this, and I'm trying to find them, that really want to change their lives. I'm not trying to make vato locos for Jesus. I'm trying to help you change. Move forward. I decided to put a nice little suit on. I like my life today. I want to do more. I want to have more. I want to help more people. I'm doing my best to help my own family. But you have to do the work. So here's where we start. And the first thing you have to have in order to change your life is a desire to change. That's where you start. Once you get there, then you have to have some faith. You're going to have some faith. Faith in God, faith in yourself, faith in the system or in the process. So, okay, say you got there. So now the real work starts. The twisted, wicked mindset that we've developed through the years. La La Land. Wherever that is for you. There's all kinds of junk in here. And I do a lot of stuff on mindset. And why is that so important? Because what kind of mindset did that guy have that had F, love? It was all because of what he had here. That affected what? His attitude. And attitude produces what we call what? Habits. And habits is really important because that's how what forms your lifestyle. And why is lifestyle so important? Because that's going to take you to your destiny, which we call results. And the results can either what? Be success or prison. The prison of your own mind, maybe even failure. So think about this for a minute. I always do this when I now let's just look at where you are today, right now. Right now where you're at. Let's find out how you got there. Let's look at your results right now. Now let me tell you how you got there. What what did your lifestyle look like? What kind of habits did you have? What kind of attitude that you have, which is I'm going to go over close with attitudes. Why did you have all that? Because all the junk that you have in your mind, right? And this is why we need Jesus. You didn't have much faith. You didn't have faith in yourself or God because you never really got here. You wanted to, and if you did, you didn't know how. Who remembers being in that position where you're so drug addicted or drunk or your life is all messed up? You're about to go to prison again. You're like, I want to change, but like, oh, who's ever been there? It's like, where, how? So I want to talk about attitudes. Does anybody have any questions before we move on? Anybody? Comments about what I just said? So this is what I think this is so important to understand. Who thinks this is important to understand? It's huge. Once I saw this, wow, this yeah. I'm telling you, your attitude, your habits, and your lifestyle. That's it. That's what builds you. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your attitude. Let's move forward. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus was asked, "How can I enter the kingdom of heaven? How can I have eternal life?" He was a rich man, and Jesus told him, "Well, you know the commandments. You got to do this, 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 and this, and this." He said, "Man, I've done that. I've done all that." He said, "All right. Well, if you really want to be perfect, we'll go sell everything you have and give it to the poor and follow me." And the rich man walked away, the Bible says, disappointed and sad because the Bible said he had great riches. He had a lot to lose. And then the disciples were like astonished. They're like, what in the world? The Bible said they were greatly astonished. They were like, what in the world? How, then who can be saved? In other words, then who can change their lives? If this guy can't, how am I going to change? That's what was happening. But Jesus then told him, listen, with man, it's impossible. You can't understand this. You're not going to make it with man. But with God, what? All things are possible. So I tell you that story for this. I just want to get this little piece of idea here. Jesus was telling them it was going to take everything he has to make it. That's what he was telling them. And I'm telling you, if you want to change your life, and you tell me, Leon and Chris and Juan, if you really want to change your life, you want to have success, you want to make things better, it's going to take everything you have. Yes or no? Everything. You can't play with this. See, this is why so many people come to our class and don't come back. Because the program, you choose a change, is not going to change you. You can even come to church. God's not going to change you until you get here. Do you want to? That's how it works. So I want to give you a few diseases of attitudes that you might help you out today. There's some. I learned this from one of my favorite mentors, Jim Rome. The attitudes of diseases, or the diseases of attitude. There's a few. There's several, but I'm just going to give you about 4 of them to kind of linger, to kind of think about this evening. The first disease of attitude that we have that's affecting you is that the attitude of indifference. The attitude of indifference. This is the disease of indifference. This kind of person with this attitude of indifference, is someone that's just drifting in life. He's not really concerned with anything that's happening. Did you know there's this war on the other side of the world right now? It's crazy. So that's something to be thankful for, that it's not here. Gotta pray for those people. I'm telling you, man, we live in a wicked world. But the disease of indifference, you're just like, like some of these guys that I saw at the parole office, they just walk in, one guy told me, I'm just here because the parole wants me to come. And, he's just indifference. He doesn't matter, nor here nor there. He's one of those guys that just don't care what happens, right? Whatever. Que será, será. He just exists. You just exist. They're one step away from just giving up. Just one step away from just giving up. There's the kind of person that just won't motivate himself, can't motivate it for some reason. And I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why some people get motivated and decide one day to change their life. It can happen, right? At any day, any moment. Teach this all the time. Today, if you choose to, you can change your life forever. At any moment of time, you can decide to stop walking this way and start walking this way. That simple. In his mind, nothing was going to go change. Nothing's going to change anywhere. Whatever happens, happens. This is his attitude, the disease of indifference. Let me give you another one. How about this one? The disease of indecision. You never make a decision. You always just, you don't know if you never accomplish everything because you never make a decision. You have what's called paralysis of the mind, right? Mental paralysis. You're just frozen. Oh no. There's a person that's just looking at everybody and they want something better. They want to change, but they never make that jump. They never get involved. They never make it to the class. Right? They never, get that training, go to that school, make that decision to change. Indecision. Anybody ever happen to you like that? And just you don't make that decision? You might think, well, what if I make a bad decision? Well, you'll figure it out sooner or later. You're trying to be real careful with just walking the fence, right? You got to get off the fence. Make a decision. Indifference. Indecision. Here's another one. Here's a big one. Here's a good one for you. The disease of doubt. The disease of doubt. One of the worst is self-doubt. Right? Self-doubt. You don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can. You don't believe that it's possible. You don't believe. Doubt that you can change. You doubt that it could be done. You doubt that things can get better. You doubt. You doubt God. Right? That's a huge one. We doubt God. Is it real? Is it not? Am I just crazy? This guy said I should believe in Mars and the planets and the stars. Another guy told me he believed in aliens. People are really confused. Pastor says people are learning how to dance on TikTok. That was a powerful illustration. I don't know if y'all caught that last night. That illustration he started with. about how China limits stops at 10 o'clock, TikTok. That's crazy. China controls what kind of videos the kids see. It's meant to inspire that pop up. And guess who watches them? Everybody just bow your head. You can. See. I know this. This is what I always told my kids, my son. Say this thing. I know it's there. It's the influencer, and you don't even realize. In fact, let's see. We'll get there in a minute. You don't even realize what you're doing to yourself. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm even on YouTube. Welcome everybody on YouTube. And you can take my advice, you can take my suggestions, or you can, believe everybody else. You make your choice. But back to doubt. You doubt the process. I'm telling you, this is a process. And if you always go back to it, if you're struggling and you have to always ask yourself, what's wrong with my faith? Where am I? What's wrong with my attitude? You can see it very clearly right here if you just want to change your life. So how can we change doubt? What can help? How can we change doubt around? It's very simple. Become a believer. Eh? Doubting Thomas. Doubting Thomas. He always doubted, right? You all know the story? Those of you that know a little bit about the Bible? Doubting Thomas. He wasn't sure, but he walked with Jesus. He was a Christian. He was a good man, right? But he doubted. He wasn't sure, man, and he wanted to see Jesus' hands. He wasn't sure, but he became a believer. He became a believer. He became a believer. Become a believer. There's many things you can believe in. You believe in God. Let me just give you three. You can believe in yourself. It's a huge one, like I said. Believe in the process. And listen, I promise you, no matter who you talk to, no matter what influencer you see, what inspirational speaker you talk to, what preacher, whether it be Tony Robbins or whoever it may be, this is the stuff they're talking about. I promise you. Yep. We need to enjoy it. So I just got a couple more and we're done. Anybody have any questions here? Anybody learn anything so far? Yeah. All right, Frank. Thank you. You're my best. Disease of pessimism. Pessimism. Who knows the difference between pessimism and optimism? Negative and positive, right? So the story goes that there was this group of pessimists, right? That decided they're going to start a pessimist club. They're going to start a pessimist club. And after the meeting that they were having to see if they were going to start it or not, the verdict came in and they decided they're not going to have it. And guess why? They didn't think it would work. And that's how we think, right? It's not going to work. Church is not going to help me. Choose to change is not going to help me. What can that convict teach me? Right, Rudy? Wearing a suit now, he thinks he's somebody. I am somebody. I'm a man of God. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a leader. I'm a business owner. I wouldn't be able. I wasn't able to say that years ago. I couldn't. I couldn't. It wouldn't come out of my mouth. I remember when I first started my business. Yeah, I have my own. I have my own business. I just do remodeling. I remember. I because I thought I was a worm, but we're not. That's awesome. The deadly disease of pessimism, always looking at the bad side of things, the problem, the difficult side, always looking for reasons why things won't work, right? Or why it's um, the negative side. The pessimist never tries to figure out what's right. The pessimist is always trying to figure out what's wrong. And then when he finds it, he's excited. Told you, told you, right? Points it out to you. You see, I told you that church wouldn't work for you. The guy says, I have 5 reasons why it won't work. He's so stupid, he don't know all he needs is one. You just need one reason to stop and quit, right? One reason to give up. All you need is one. One reason. See, but the good news, the opposite side of that, is all you need is one reason to change your life. One will change everything for you. The pessimist never tries to figure out what's right. He's always trying to figure out what's wrong. Oh man. Okay, let me break out my notes. Check it out. Wrote some notes. Here's the what I heard at the parole office. I started writing them down. You know, they're coming in, and they're asking, I asked the guy, "You want to change your life?" He says, "I'm in a halfway house." I gave another guy a flyer, and he looked at it. I said, "Look, this is what I do. I work with men. Help you change your life. You want to change your life? I don't have a car." That's what he said. And I said, "Dan?" He said, "Well, no. Well," I said, "Aren't you trying? How are you going to get to work?" "Oh, well, I'll figure it out." Another guy say, "Well, I'm sick. I'm sick." And well, probably both, but and here's I know that we all have situations, where sick, and he probably was. They got a hernia he has, and I understand, you know. But let me ask you. I mean, Chavarria's here. He has problems, but he has a different attitude. See, my point is, well, let me give you some more. Another one said, "I'm not from here." I ask you, do you want to change your life? Another guy said, I can't drive." Oh man, that's even worse. You're 40 years old and you can't drive? Really? That's not good. Another guy said, "I'm not from here, so I don't know the bus routes." But the mindset, the attitude, the excuses. Why would the same exact listen to this? We're gonna close right here. This is really, really good. Why would the same exact circumstances, the same situation, the same measure, some people, optimist sees the cup half full, and the pessimist sees the cup half empty. Why would the same exact measures affect people differently? Why? I'm going to tell you. Listen to this. The answer is because it depends how you see it. How you see it. So, what do I mean by that? Listen to this. Here's the quote of the evening. Our lives are basically affected by how we think they are, not by how they actually are. Did y'all get that one? That's a good one to write down. Our lives are basically affected by how you think they are, not by how they actually are. That's a huge revelation right there. That's why faith is so important. Because sometimes you can't see it, right? I remember, I don't know if you remember, Peña. I mean, I used to say, bro, you got some amazing gifts, bro. It's amazing what you can do. Did you remember me telling you that? It's like, what are you doing? But you couldn't see them, or you just didn't give them. Either way, life your life is basically affected by how you think they are, not by how they actually are. This is called poor thinking habits. Your mind is like a mental factory. Your mind, listen to this, is like a mental factory. And whatever you feed it, whatever you listen to, whatever you pour into this mental factory, listen to this, pours massive ingredients into the way you think. And this starts the economic, social, and financial fabric of your life. If you don't like where you're at today, you have to start changing this. What you read, what you listen to, what you watch. Because this is what's going to change this. This is what's going to change this. This is what's going to change this. This is why this is the core ingredient, I tell people. You start. I listen to some of the music people listen to. Sometimes I slip through the channels. And I'm talking about the stuff that's just on radio. Forget YouTube. I mean, that's just a monster right there. That's why people are like twisted. There's this guy I met at the church. He's 18 years old. And he came, gave it life to Jesus. He wants to change. He wants to change. And he knows his problem. He said, yeah. And then I say, what do you listen to? What are you listening to? He said, I gotta listen to rap, and I know this. I said, gangster rap. Oh, what kind of fabric of his life do you think that's gonna shape? Gangster rap, right? What do you think that's shaping? Can you see how important it is? What you listen to, what you read, what you choose to believe, and this is how you change your life. That's it. And I think that some people don't change their life because it costs too much, right? It costs too much. That's why that young rich ruler walked away. It cost too much. I'm telling you, there's plenty of men in prison like this, gang leaders, gang members, right? Cost too much to change. I'd rather leave my family. I'd rather leave my children. I'd rather die in prison. There's people think that way. Y'all remember? Telling you. That's and that's sad. But those are the facts. But if you want to change your life, oh man. See, I wanted to change my life. I wanted to change my life. I wasn't afraid of getting killed. I wasn't afraid of prison. I knew that any idiot can do time. Any fool can pull a trigger. Anybody could pull a needle in your arm. But to change your life, I mean, it's amazing to be at where I'm at today. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Diseases of attitude. Amen. So that's what I wanted to give you guys this evening. Anybody have any questions? Any comments? Algo? I'm going to pass around the donation bucket then if you don't say nothing. Go ahead, Chris. Chavaria, go ahead and pass the donation bucket.
I think every person born on earth has it in them to be successful.
As what?
Has it in them to be successful.
If you can help us in any way, we just.
And one of the reasons why I believe that every person on earth has it in them to be successful is because just the fact that they're born is a winner. Like it takes an enormous amount of biological engineering by God to design one little sperm cell to make it to the ovum.
Oh, yeah, because there's millions of them, right?
I mean, just the fact that you were born, you're already born a winner.
Yep.
You turn into a loser.
Yeah.
You
choose.
You choose. And I think a lot of it is mental. It's the mental switch. Because we would always, hasta la muerte, carnal.
Yeah.
Yeah, hasta la muerte. That's what we would say about our gang.
Yeah, I know.
And that same energy could be useful. You just have to turn it to something positive.
That's it.
This is my hasta la muerte right now.
Yeah, that's right. Your daughter.
It's shift.
It's
like, hey, what am I going to live for? What is the reason for living? Why am I here? God, give me direction. And you can choose to follow destructive path, or you can choose to follow a righteous path. It's just and every day it's the same thing. You're gonna face the same challenges. But that's all I have to say. I think everybody's born a winner, brother. I think they choose to be a loser.
Thank you, Chris. That's awesome, guys. Well, man, it's been great. I'm really excited about continue doing what we do. Saturday we have a prison invasion, but you get to get out the same day. It's gonna be awesome. If you signed up, I'm gonna play by ear. It's supposed to have a 40% chance of rain for Saturday. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow afternoon and see what happens. And if it's gonna rain, if it's 40 or 50% chance, I'm probably gonna cancel it too. A year. Yeah. Yes. All right, guys. That's all I have tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. And yes. Oh, don't forget that if you're interested in helping us, you could always give at the Choose the Change Foundation. There's you can also take a picture of that, and there's what do you call that code? A QR code. And we're looking for, just in case you don't know, we're looking for sponsors from businesses. So if you know anybody who wants to sponsor us, I'm looking for monthly donors to help us as we build what we're doing. And we'll see you next week. Thank you for coming.